Hi, everybody.
I'm going to do that little thingy.
Yep. And here we go. Woo. There we go, our little introduction.
I tell you, a little technology goes a long way sometimes.
It does.
So, yeah.
It does. So welcome to a DisNerds Live. I am Rita.
And I'm Henry.
And we are DisNerds Live. We are sponsored by Middle of the Magic Travel, which is a travel agency located in Mickey's backyard. We are travel planners with Middle of the Magic Travel. We try to make that obvious to you guys and transparent as much as possible. We're super excited about tonight's show. Hey, Sarah! Very excited about tonight's show because I get to share with you some of my thoughts about my latest trip to Disney and Universal, which was a lot. It was a lot of fun. But we do have a couple of things that we want to share with you. Really, there's not a whole lot that's been going on.
After last week, you were here last Sunday, me and Sarah were on, and there were so many announcements coming out last week that, goodness, they could have announced 10 things this week and it was so slow. But one of the cool things that I saw announced this week kind of falls more on our side of everything, but for those of y'all who are looking forward to it, over at Coronado Springs, you have the new Dinesto Towers. It's the Grand Dinesto Tower. And it's going to be the new entrance coming into Coronado Springs. And that one, we can start booking that for next year. I didn't check the dates that's going to actually open. But in a couple of days, we can actually start booking that. I need to check that real quick. See what dates we can
I cannot wait till we can start booking the new tower over at Caribbean Beach because I'm going to try to book that for us for November in hopes that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge will be open for that.
Oh, listen to that.
So yeah, that's a little bit of news. Now over in Disneyland, they announced that they have some after dark events.
Yeah,
Sorry, I couldn't get that out. Yes, Sarah says we can begin at Grand Destino. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
It's on Tuesday. Yeah, that's correct. And Sarah, I don't know if you know her, because I can't find my email now, as we're having more technical difficulties than normal. And for those of you who will follow us, that's a lot. But I don't know if you know the date that we actually will be opening. That's the question I'm trying to figure out. So, obviously on Tuesday I'll be able to figure it out because if I try to book it in June and it says no dates available, then that means it's not open yet.
I was just driving by there and it didn't look like it was going to be ready.
Hey, a little bit of pixie dust and that goes a long way.
Hey, I was just sort of shifting through the news, and I think we already knew this.
Okay. But
Disney has confirmed that the gondolas will not have air conditioning.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, I know, but they confirmed it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess you're up high and the breeze will be going.
There'll be a breeze going by. You're going to be traveling along at 65 miles per hour.
No.
No? Oh, that's right. That is slow for you. I'm so sorry. We could get up to 100 whenever you're on that.
Hey, that was one of my trivia questions for yesterday for Small Business Saturday. With that said, that's a nice little segue there. Thank you guys who showed up to the Small Business Saturday event over at Information and News in Mickey's backyard. That is a Facebook page, a private Facebook page that is run by Middle of the Magic Travel. We're extremely active in there, and we would love it if you would join it too. It's just a bunch of Disney folks, some experienced, not experienced, who like to sit around and chat Disney. I've been on other Disney discussion boards. Well, I've been in Disney discussion boards for a long time, which is what makes me a DisNerd. But this Facebook page is unlike some of the other ones where you might find a little bit of, I don't know, smack talk or not the nicest.
Trolling.
Oh, is that what it's called?
That's what it's called on the internet. You're trolling someone.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, Information and News from Mickey's backyard is not like that. So you really should spend some time over there, ask your questions, your travel questions, and there'll be agents in there and then people who have already traveled or are going to travel who might be able to help answer your question. We're a little distracted by the phone right now, currently. Henry,
you're locked up. Oh, well.
Okay. So, I don't think I have any other news. Oh, yeah, I was talking about Disneyland. They have their After Dark events. Now, Disneyland After Dark used to go on back in the 60s, the 50s and the 60s. Which
whole different meaning to After Dark for those guys.
Well, I mean, listen, I used to watch all the shows on Disney Channel late at night that always did like the Disneyland
Okay.
movies. Probably don't know what I'm talking about.
Clearly, I wasn't in Disney at that point.
And
I was a G.I. Joe fan.
like, nothing wrong with that. But anyway, they would have these Disneyland After Dark, like recordings. One had Louis Armstrong, like playing the trumpet on I'm going to get it wrong, the Liberty Bell. That's not what it's called in Disneyland. But it's really cool stuff. But the two that they had, one Sweetheart Night, the other one, this is why I'm saying this, was 90s Night. I would absolutely adore going there for 90s Night because 90s is, when I was old enough to have fun.
Okay.
And I think it would be really cool to, like, 90s music, special fireworks themed for, like, the 90s. How cool would that be? I'm telling you, if you are local to Disneyland or Disneyland is your home park, I would completely take advantage of these events. Disneyland does a great job putting on special events. So with that said, are you ready?
Sure. Hey, you know what? We're here to learn a little bit about your trip, because your trip was another research trip for us.
It was.
So it was checking out a new resort for you.
Well, yes. We stayed in the Pirate Rooms at the Caribbean Beach. Caribbean Beach is a moderate resort.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's a great resort. I really enjoyed it. The Pirate Rooms, however, not sure I'd stay in those again. I'm just going to be honest with you. I've experienced them firsthand now. The rooms are full beds instead of queen beds, and it's really nice to have a queen bed. And then...
They're fools over there instead of queen?
Yeah, well, just in the Pirate Room.
Okay. It's because there's a lot of
The room was really clean. The room was really clean.
Okay.
It was super well themed. It met my Disney expectations in those ways, but I'm just not going to recommend them. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I don't usually have naysays. Now, I talked to some other guests who were staying in Pirate Rooms while I was there because I was curious how they felt about their room. And, they seemed pleased. But I would much rather stay in a non-themed room in the other part of the resort because Caribbean Beach is beautiful. Do not stay at the Caribbean Beach because I'm saying I don't think the Pirate Rooms are the best rooms. I think that the Caribbean Beach Resort has updated rooms that have queen beds in them. They're just not the Pirate Rooms. So, I think that, just consider staying in a different type of room. Now, if you have a little boy and they're dead set on, staying in a pirate room, and I hate to say that because, our little girl loves pirates. She has pirate costumes and all that kind of stuff, but
She's a little pirate.
I know a lot of families will search for, if they have boys, they're searching for things for their little boy to do at Disney. I think the Pirate Room's a good choice.
All right.
But not my go-to. I don't think we'd go back.
No, that's fair.
So, but the Caribbean Beach, I ate at the food court several times. I spoke with the cast members. It was a beautiful resort. Loved the updates. We've taken pictures of those and sent those to you. The dining was excellent. Their Caribbean jerk pizza was fantastic. I didn't think I would like it because I'm not a fan of jerk chicken, but it was wonderful. I would eat it time and again. Real easy to get around the resort. It was really nice. The updates are great. They did a wonderful job.
That's cool.
I'm very pleased.
Excellent.
Now,
so what else did you all go down to?
Well, we went down to really experience Festival of the Holidays. Now, Minnie and Shelley, they did 4 parks in 2 days. They joined us at Epcot for Festival of the Holidays, but they went to the Magic Kingdom, to Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. And I went to the Animal Kingdom and for just a brief period of time with them, and then I went over to Epcot for Festival of the Holidays. Now, I've been to Epcot during the holidays, but I hadn't really actually spent some very specific time in countries where they do the storytelling. And I will do it again in a heartbeat. I hope we are going down next year, this same time that I went this trip. And it was fantastic. I can't even begin to tell you that you should take the time to watch the storytelling. Extremely entertaining for the kids, for the family as a whole. Italy warmed my heart so much. It was my favorite storytelling.
So what do you mean by storytelling?
Well, each country has their own Santa. That's kind of putting it. That's not really right. But each country has their own gift giver. How about that? And so they have their own sort of story about how that happens. And like Italy's is on January 6th, which is the day of Epiphany.
Interesting.
And I'm not even going to spoil the story for you. I'm going to post some pictures on the Facebook page so that you can see those. But it was wonderful. And of course the decorations were great and the music was great. And we were there before the Candlelight Processional, which I hate that we missed because my mother's never seen that and I would love for her to see it.
Oh. That's right. Y'all were there. It started a day or two after y'all left. That's right.
Yeah. But it was wonderful. It was a great day. I absolutely loved it. And we ate a lot of the food in the marketplaces.
When do we not eat when we go to Disney? I mean, that's like the reason to go to Disney.
I love that in every festival that Epcot does that they have their food kiosks. So, marketplaces. They are so awesome. And the food that we had was wonderful. And then, of course, we stopped over in France and I had my chocolate mousse too. Mom had salmon.
Wow.
Whole
mousse?
Yeah. That's Canada, honey, not France.
Oh, that's right, Canada. That is right.
Hi, Libby. So
my friend Mike should know that. I'll ask him next time about that. How do they season their mousse?
Now, I'm going to tell you, I cannot believe I'm going to say this, but out of all the things that we had, besides when the stuff we had from France, the chocolate mousse I had from France, which, by the way, wasn't at their marketplace. It was back in and I'm going to say this wrong, so forgive me if you speak French. But it's the patisserie. They have chocolate mousse back there that I always get.
Okay.
But out of all the marketplaces that we ate at, America was my favorite. I can't believe because I love to try different foods from different places, and all the food that I ate was fantastic. Germany was amazing. They had a potato dumpling with mushroom sauce that was really good.
Okay.
Had a bread bowl. It was a fondue with grilled vegetables. We ate in Italy and had some pasta and a deep fried grilled cheese with tomato sauce. Had some salmon over in Canada. I mean, there was a lot of different things to eat. But in America, I guess because it was Thanksgiving, they had turkey and dressing and mashed potatoes, and we had green beans and ham and sweet potato casserole. Sweet potato casserole, not my favorite thing, but everything else was phenomenal. Like, it tasted like Mom cooked the turkey at home. Or I should say, I cooked the turkey. It was too sweet.
What?
Yeah, it was. It was just too sweet.
Oh,
we saw, of course, we went and saw Voices of Liberty and their Christmas songs.
Okay.
Hanukkah and Christmas songs, so it was really nice.
That's cool.
I can't wait to go back. I love Epcot in all seasons, but Christmas is my favorite.
Okay.
Pretty cool stuff.
All right, so you're down for that. So let's
Okay.
see, we're down for checking out a new room. We're there to do a little bit of holiday experiences, and then you were there for
Universal Studios.
Wait a second. What's the name of our show again?
A DisNerds Live.
Okay, and you went where?
Universal Studios. And yes,
did you get dropped on your head this week before you went down?
Okay, this is how I see it. I hadn't been to Universal Studios in 25 years. Okay? The last time I went to Universal Studios, I can specifically remember who I was with. I hurt myself on the Jaws ride, and I had to go to the first aid station. And
did you hurt your jaw?
I'm married to him. And then I got front of the line passes to Earthquake because I had to go to the first aid station. And these are two attractions that don't even exist anymore.
Not many of their attractions. Like, they rotated a lot of their stuff. unlike in Disney right now, I know that Disney is always changing and adding new attractions in, and there's a lot of people that can be saddened sometimes whenever certain rides go away or certain attractions go away. But Universal rotates their stuff out with whatever's. If it's not popular at that point, then it may go away. Jaws is not the movie anymore, so now we have to move on to King Kong and Sid.
I guess. I mean, I really don't know. I don't know how often they rotate things out. Well, Jaws was there for a long time. It just went away like 4 years ago. But, you know.
Yeah, which has been there longer, Jaws or Peter Pan?
Okay, Peter Pan.
Okay, then.
But, you know, here, y'all, it was great.
She said that.
Okay, it wasn't as great as Disney. I'm not going to lie to you.
All right.
I am not going to lie to you. So, I have thoughts on Universal, and I don't think that they're going to be super popular thoughts. So, let me say this to start with. I was entertained. I had a good time. I was there with Minnie, and she'd been to Universal. I thought she'd never been. She'd been there once. And Shelley had been there once, and I was entertained. I enjoyed watching them have a good time. They rode the Hulk very first thing. I did not ride it, but they did ride it very first thing, and they got off of it, and Minnie was like, that's the best roller coaster I've ever ridden. We immediately went to Spider-Man after that, and I'll tell you honestly, that was one of the best attractions I've ever been on, is Spider-Man.
Okay.
Absolutely adored Spider-Man. Well done attraction.
That's because Stan Lee designed it.
You know that for sure.
With Spider-Man, he does
it. Anyway, it was really cool. And my understanding is Ratatouille is going to be somewhat designed with the same technology as Spider-Man. So, anyway, it was a really great attraction. And then, honestly, I can't even remember as far as what order I did everything in, but I rode almost every single attraction that was available. I did, unfortunately, have to miss just a couple of attractions, but I rode E.T., which I was absolutely had to do while I was there because...
was your child ages?
Yes, and, E.T. has a special place in my heart. It was a movie my dad and I went together to see in the theater. So... I loved E.T. But I rode really almost everything. I loved the Simpsons ride. Did not like the load and unload.
I had to find something red to put on my finger. And so we have a Mickey Mouse who has some red with him. So.
I rode the Simpsons ride. Did not like the load and unload of it. I think maybe that was the old Back to the Future ride. I could be wrong. I thought it was really funny, but, I do have a side of me that kind of likes crude to have a crude sense of humor. It was great. Now, Harry Potter and Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, y'all, there's nothing like that. Disney has not touched that yet. Maybe Pandora World of Avatar has touched.
Maybe I've heard that. We're hopeful that Toyshire maybe.
No.
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 Okay, then Galaxy's Edge is going to be the next chance.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge, I believe, will be better. But that's also because I'm more of a Star Wars fan than I'm a Harry Potter fan. Now, I've read all the books, loved them, read the last book, waited in line at midnight to pick it up, read it in 48 hours. I mean, I am a Harry Potter fan. And Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade were amazing. To me, it was like stepping in the books, stepping in the movies. The attractions were fantastic for those. I preferred Escape from Gringotts over the Forbidden Journey that was over in the Hogwarts Castle. However, I loved being in the Hogwarts Castle. That was really cool too. It was amazing to be a part of that whole area. And then, of course, the Hogwarts Express, going back from, I rode it more than once, and being a part of that was really cool. I do not believe that Universal Studios is, for me, I do not believe that Universal Studios is a destination vacation. Disney is destination for me. This is a place that we go, we spend time off property, time out of the parks doing other things. just enjoying Disney Springs and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
I cannot see myself going down to Universal Studios and spending a week or even 4 days. And here's the deal. Every single attraction, with the exception of a few, is almost the exact same attraction. They're all
themed.
yeah, they're all well done, but they're all virtual. Yes, exactly. They're all virtual attractions, or is virtual the right word? But
yes,
you wear 3D glasses in every single one of them, and you are watching some kind of movie, and your ride vehicle kind of moves or whatever to give you the sensation that you're flying.
They're all much like Star Tours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They're all much like Star Tours, or Soarin', even maybe kind of like Soarin'.
Okay.
I think Soarin' sort of takes it. Yes, but Avatar's different. Different ball game altogether. Now, Sarah says that Universal is a great add-on to Disney Vacation. That is exactly what it is. It is a great add-on. And here's the deal. Henry could not go to Universal Studios. Okay, he could go, but he couldn't ride anything. Henry gets motion sickness, and even Star Tours. And if we sit towards the back,
if I see it, some of the rides for it, or if I'm not focused well, or if I've had something else that's kind of affected me a little bit that day, Star Tours can get me sick. So.
Pandora, the Flight of Passage, I know Henry will pass that up sometimes. I mean, he'll ride it.
Yeah.
But he'll pass it up sometimes because it does. It gives him...
It's, for me, especially the virtual reality ones with motion sickness and stuff like that, I can do one of them a day. So to go to a place like Universal where I'm going to, go to, 5 or 6, 7, 8, 10 rides that day, then that's not going to be the case on me. So, you know what? I am so glad that you're back. Because I can go take care of a little girl who's yelling right now, as opposed to... because she just yelled for father.
She just said, father.
So whenever I was a kid, I used to get mom, mother. I used to do that all the time too. I'll be right back, guys.
So I definitely, I wrote down some notes, and one of the things that I did put is that you definitely want to do it as an add-on. I think it is perfect if you have teenagers. When I first walked in, when we were waiting, because we got there, being a good park goer that I am, we got there early. And I did not, want to miss out on anything. I wanted to be there to miss all the lines. But also, I'll add on to that part later, but I wanted to experience as much of it as possible. I wanted to be there from open to close. And as I was looking around, and I was looking at all the people who were around me, there were a few strollers. There are not a lot of kids around.
Where?
At Universal.
Okay.
And when I say kids, I mean like Amelia. Amelia, our youngest, is 4 years old. And there just weren't a whole lot of 4-year-olds around. It was all...
It's teenagers.
12 plus.
Yeah, it's so from everything that I've noticed from the discussions and stuff, is that Disney is great for the whole family. Maybe not always great for your teenagers and even some of your 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old, that kind of age bracket there. But they can still have a pretty good time at Disney, to where Universal is where they will have a great time, but the rest of the family may or may not have a good time. So, again, back over to, that's what makes it a really good add-on to your trip. Is that you have that one day, especially if you have a large group that happens to go, because this is the 4 of you all. You think about it. If my father-in-law had gone down there also, and I've been there, and Amelia had been there, and there's 7 of us at that point. If Shelly's boyfriend had been there, we're 8. Yeah. All of a sudden, you've got a sizable group, 2 families basically going. Then Universal becomes a really good aspect to where you go, you know what? 4 of y'all head over to Universal. The other 4 of us are going to stay at the pool here at Disney, or we're going to go over to Disney Springs, and go just do some other stuff. It makes it a really good add-on for it. But now, Universal, they do have technically 2 parks. Were you able to ride? You weren't able to do every single thing in the one day.
Yes.
You were able to do every single thing in one day?
There were a couple of attractions that I missed.
Okay.
Now, did I see every single show? Did I see, but every,
I was like, Universal was supposed to be like a 2-day park, and then they also have the water park.
Oh, no, I didn't go to Volcano Bay.
I know you didn't go to Volcano Bay.
Yeah.
They have 2 parks because you had to get a park hopper.
Universal and Islands of Adventure.
Exactly.
We started in Islands of Adventure.
Gotcha.
And in retrospect, we realized we probably should have started in Universal because there were a lot more attractions in Universal than there are in Islands of Adventure. But
because there's an island.
But it didn't matter, and that kind of leads me to what I was going to say earlier. We bought Express Pass. Express Pass is the equivalent of Fast Passes, except you get a Fast Pass for every single attraction. And I got the Unlimited Express Pass because that's what was offered to me. And it was very expensive. It was the cost of a ticket for me. Now, I bought it day up. If you buy it in advance, the price fluctuates for that depending on crowd size. But due to circumstances that I could not control, that's just how it happened. It is what it is. But I highly recommend that you get an Express Pass. You either need to stay, if you're going to go to Universal, you either need to stay on property for the night before you go, or you need to get Express Pass. Because anything that has to do with Harry Potter is going to get an extremely long line. I was strolling through Islands of Adventure, and I had just been at Disney, and y'all, Disney was crowded while we were down there. It was Mickey's 90th birthday party celebration. It was the beginning of the holiday week, and it was, And
Destination D was going on, too.
Yeah, Destination D was going on, but by 8:15, on the morning that I went to Hollywood Studios and hung out at Hollywood Studios, the wait for Slinky Dog Dash was 135 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, immediately. It was extremely crowded. Which is why you need a vacation planner, by the way. So I was walking around Universal Studios, and I'm like, where is everybody? I was just like, where is everybody? It's not very crowded. I didn't really need an Express Pass for Spider-Man. And some of the other attractions that we went to. But what I found out is everybody was in the Harry Potter portions of the park. They were either in Hogsmeade or Diagon Alley.
Sure.
So you've got to have that Express Pass so that you can, excuse me, so that you can make sure that you get into those areas early.
Okay.
Escape from Gringotts was 2-hour wait.
Sure.
And
So
Spider-Man was 10 minutes.
How much was an Express Pass?
Well, it depends. It fluctuates.
How much was yours when you got it day of? That should be the most expensive.
Well, I got unlimited. Unlimited, which is different from the regular, and it's park to park. You'll have to excuse me. I don't know why.
Checked up.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm losing my voice. But,
I've not said any good jokes yet, so I don't know either.
Haven't.
I'm working on it. I'm waiting for the right one to slide in there.
Anyway, it was $159.
Okay, per person.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now in general, there are some people that don't go and get all of it, but with the Express Pass, being able to see everything you went to in one day was well worth it. You could easily do that. All right, interesting.
Yeah, I would do it again.
Okay.
I would budget it. Because, the Hogwarts Express would get a 60-minute wait just to get from one portion of Harry Potter to the next. It was pretty cool. So I'm just going to kind of go through my notes that I wrote down. I do believe with Express Pass you could do it in one day.
Okay.
That's just my maybe not during the holidays, but 2 days definitely if you want to do things leisurely. If you want to make sure you take in all the shows, you could do it in 2 days.
Sarah said earlier, did you happen to catch the Blues Brothers show, one of her all-time favorites? So again, you have a lot of those shows you can go over and check it to take it. So.
I did not see the Blues Brothers shows, but I did see 2 other shows.
What'd you say?
And that's one of the things that I like about Universal versus Disney. Universal appeals, I think, more to the masses when it comes to their shows. I watched this one called Sing It, which was an a cappella competition, between the girls and the boys, and they looked hip. They were amazing singers. They sang a cappella the whole time. And then I saw what I think is called Men at Work, and it was some guys who drummed on things that weren't drums. And it was really good. Well, it was more than just buckets. They had scaffolding and things like that. So it was really good. The shows were really great. Any kind of entertainment I saw, I really felt like it's not that they stepped the bar up from Disney. I don't think they did that. I think it just appeals to more people. Because Animal Kingdom has some of my absolute favorite entertainment. The music is amazing, but it's not I can see why teenagers would just kind of at Animal Kingdom and walk by. Universal Studios is going to appeal to that group, that age group.
Gotcha.
All right.
So, what were your favorite rides?
My favorite rides were King Kong.
Okay.
I did close my eyes in portions of it, but it was very good. It was believable. I really enjoyed that. Escape from Gringotts. Let's see, Spider-Man, loved it. I don't have anything else written down.
Yeah, one more written down.
What was it?
MIB.
Oh, yeah, Men in Black. Loved it. One of my favorite attractions by far, because you got to shoot things. I loved Men in Black. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you would have really enjoyed it. And it was really well themed. It was simply themed. And it had this whole glass case the length of the wall that you could look and you could see all of the different weapons and things like that they would use for, I guess, taking care of aliens. But you got to shoot things, so that was really a whole lot of fun. I really enjoyed Men in Black. And it says, whatever you do not press the red button. And guess who pressed the red button?
You did. Did
Yes.
you really?
Yes, because I really get into these games, y'all. When you are shooting things and you're doing it for points, I am determined to win. I can't even begin to tell you, determined to win.
Oh, wow.
And I'm really into it, and they're like, whatever you do, don't press the red button, don't press the red button. And I looked down, I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh.
Press the red button. Then they tell you in the beginning, don't press the red button too. It was like they were psyching you out about it. And then
Sure.
I pressed the red button. So I think our team lost all of our points because
You're not on my team if we go do that one then.
Oh, it was so much fun. You would enjoy it. That's
All right,
one of
good
the
deal.
few attractions that you could do. I really enjoyed the Simpsons ride also because they make fun of Disney the whole time. And
Gotcha.
I love Disney, and I've got a great sense of humor, so I found it to be quite hilarious. Can I see your notes?
I'm asking you questions off your notes.
Okay.
So, can they tell you the best places? Can the cast members over there tell you the best places to watch the 3 o'clock parade? And
Okay.
what time was the 3 o'clock parade?
So that was kind of one of my things. At the end of the evening, I really wanted to see the nighttime show. I'd seen it on bits and pieces of it on Tim Tracker, and I knew that it was like a miniature world of color from Disney, and
Okay.
that is my all-time favorite nighttime show that Disney puts on, is World of Color out at Disney's California Adventure. And so I had left Minnie and Shelley in Islands of Adventure, and I was going over to Universal Orlando to claim my spot so I could see this show. And so I got into Universal Studios, and I'm not even going into how I got there, but I got there, and the first thing I did is I asked a cast member, because I was towards the entrance area, I said, where do I go to watch the nighttime show? And she looked at me and she said, there is no nighttime show tonight, because we had the Macy's parade, which they had like a miniature Macy's Thanksgiving parade. And I was like, okay. And I took her word for it, because I was thinking, this is my first time here. I don't really know what I'm doing. And I was like, whatever. So I walked away and I looked at my map that had all the times and stuff on it. And in fact, it said that there was a nighttime show. And I started to go back and ask her to make sure that, it wasn't printed wrong. I didn't think, I still thought she knew what she was talking about. And she was wrong. Now, I didn't tell her she was wrong. I just kept walking. I wouldn't do that to somebody. But she didn't know that there was a nighttime show that evening, and I was just a little bit of astonished by that. So some of my interactions with cast members, which were quite pleasant, I don't think that they always knew exactly what was going on. One of the things that I noticed in the Simpsons ride is some of the cast members didn't know what to do when it came to loading and unloading the ride.
Interesting.
They seemed a little bit clueless, and I don't know, maybe they were in character because it was a Simpsons ride, but you know.
Oh.
So there was a little bit of, everybody was very kind and definitely wanted to do their best to help guests, but I don't know how knowledgeable they were. I don't know how well trained they were.
All right.
So
they need to send the upper management of Universal over to the Mickey's School of Leadership Excellence.
Right. Yeah. But again, they were very kind. And Universal was very clean. I had always heard these rumors that it wasn't. It is very clean. Very clean.
So Sarah asked up there a little while ago, she asked, she wanted to hear about the Forbidden Journey.
Okay, I'm getting to it, Sarah. I'm getting to it.
We get most of the other things. A lot of things you've already talked about.
Okay. I was just making sure that I didn't miss anything. The beat of a different drum. I agree, Bridget. Yes. Okay. So, let's talk about the Harry Potter rides.
I thought they were going to talk about the Forbidden Journey.
That's the one.
Okay.
That's one of them.
All right.
Yeah, so, when the Forbidden Journey first opened, being the researcher that I am, I immediately got on the internet and watched the ride. I do this. I go to YouTube. I watch attractions. I watch rides because I want to know what they're all about. I want to be able to talk about them. I want to be able to, I just want to have my, be able to.
She doesn't want to be surprised on a ride for really.
No.
She doesn't like surprises,
No, I'm honestly a curious person, and if the information's out there, I'm going to go seek it out. I'm going to,
Okay.
Bridget, I will answer that question in just a second about Blue. That was one of the rides I did get to ride, Jurassic Park, that I wanted to ride.
Okay.
But it just didn't work out. So anyway, what was that? So I've seen the Forbidden Journey. I knew what it was about, and I knew what to expect, and I knew that there were going to be spiders on that ride. And I don't like spiders. Don't really care. Quit it. Stop. I don't like spiders. They do scare me. If they're outside of my house, they're fine. I enjoy watching their webs. I'm a math geek. I like to think that there is math in a spider's web. I think they're really cool. I don't think that they're the most horrible thing in the world, but when they're the size of your body, I don't like them. So I knew they were coming, and I wanted my sister to tell me when they were coming. And so as we come around the corner and I see the first spider, I legitimately, in the words of my daughter, screamed bloody murder. I have never screamed that loud on an attraction. It scared me to death. And immediately I closed my eyes and I'm like, tell me when the spiders are gone! And Shelly, who's 2 seats over from me, is trying to tell me when the spiders are gone, but I can't hear her because I'm still screaming. It was quite entertaining, I'm sure, for the people around me. Who knows? But yeah, it was quite funny. And because my eyes were closed and I thought that there were going to, I couldn't see these spiders, or there were these spiders that I didn't want to see. I missed the Wampling Tree. Sarah says, I'll definitely want to go on this ride with you sometime. Okay, so here's the deal, Sarah. I said when I got off of it, I wouldn't ride it again. Okay?
Except her husband's going to go at some point. She's going to ride it then.
I will ride it again.
And her youngest daughter's going to want to go at some point, and she'll ride it again.
Yeah, I will definitely ride it again. I will just go back and watch the video of a ride through again, so I know exactly when to close my eyes. And I'll tell you too, the Death Eaters, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
No, the Dementors, not Death Eaters.
Death Eaters are one of them.
The Dementors.
Yeah, Dementors who you're talking about.
Okay. I was completely prepared for those.
But they're not scary.
But yeah, they are.
Nah.
Yeah, I actually closed my eyes. After the first one kind of got up in my face, I mean, the projection portion, I was like, prepared for that. But then, because there are portions of the ride that are projected and portions that are not. And so they were kind of what I felt like was up in my face. And, yes, you need to have a GoPro when you ride with me. I promise I'll scream. Yeah, I think maybe if I got stuck, I would become desensitized to the Dementors. But yeah, it was something else. The technology for that ride was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed my walk through Hogwarts, the castle. It was really cool. But boy, the spiders, they were reals. It was scary.
For reals?
Yeah, and I'll probably scream with my eyes closed. Because I know they're out there.
A couple nights from now, she's going to start screaming in the middle of the night. I'm like, what's wrong, honey? Spiders! Spiders!
Listen, if y'all knew the dreams I had about spiders, and I'm not even going to tell you because they're really freaky, you would understand. You would understand why I was screaming bloody murder. So, Bridget asked, did you get to meet Blue? Blue is the...
he's the Smurf.
He's the dinosaur.
Smurf.
That is... What's that guy's name? Pratt? With Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is all buddy-buddy with in the Jurassic Park movies. Unfortunately, Blue was not working when I was there.
Oh.
Yeah, they said to check back, but...
Was he on a lunch break?
Yeah, the technology was having
He's on strike.
Yeah, the technology was not working. They said they were having some technical difficulties, so to check back. But unfortunately, just due to our schedule, because we were hitting every single attraction that we could, I just never got around to get back to Blue. So there are definitely some things I want to go back and visit. Now, here's what I'm going to say about, what's it called? Why can't I remember what it's called? CityWalk. CityWalk. Okay, so Universal's CityWalk is Disney Springs. And Universal CityWalk is a hot spot. It is definitely for young people. They lied. He ate a team member and was in timeout. You're probably right, Rita. So Universal CityWalk is a hot spot. My brother used to live in Orlando, and he would visit CityWalk more than he visited Disney Springs. These are two totally different types of places to hang out. I prefer Disney Springs, but when I was younger, I would have much preferred CityWalk.
Okay.
I think it's a really awesome place. It's hopping. There's loud music, really bright lights, lots of places to eat and hang out and to do. It's a really, really neat place. And I loved security, and you would have appreciated this. Now, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention, but there was one way in and one way out, and that to CityWalk, and they scanned your bags. It was almost not quite as intense, but it was like going to the airport.
Okay.
And so they scanned my bags, and of course I set off the alarms for my bracelets when I was going through the metal detector, and they had to wand me, and so I was really impressed that they sent everybody through metal detectors. I wish they would do that at Disney, just for my own safety. And you didn't ever have to go through any security again to get into a park, to get into CityWalk. So it's kind of like downtown Disney and Disneyland,
okay,
where everybody goes through a metal detector. They don't scan your bags, but they did go through your bags.
Yeah.
And it was, and you didn't ever have to go through security again. So I felt like security was really cool, and I love CityWalk. So that's my take on Universal. I see I have one little not happy face. I'm sorry if I didn't make you happy with my.
That was their non-comical, honey. I think that was you that technical difficulties earlier.
Well, it doesn't matter, but it's just not. It's not my favorite. Is it an add-on? Does Minnie love it? Our oldest loves it. She would love to go back, and I'll take her back. But I like Disney better.
What?
It's not Disney. And we won't be taking Amelia anytime soon. Well, because we would spend the whole time in one area segregated from the rest of everything else because they have like this Seuss land, which was really cool. And then like the Woody Woodpecker area where E.T. is.
Okay.
And Fifel's Playground. We had a Fifel's Playground.
Oh, super cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
See, yeah, you can have fun over there.
Yes. Sarah says, it is so good if you're a Harry Potter fan, but probably not a park to visit over and over again. I agree.
Right.
That is dead on. The Harry Potter place that I'm going to post pictures. Diagon Alley was amazing. There was nothing like it. I was shocked. I was in awe. I was like, pretty cool.
Gotcha. Good deal. Here's a question for you.
Okay, go.
Which opened up first? Disney's MGM Studios or Universal Studios?
Universal.
Wrong.
Okay, so MGM opened up early without hardly any attractions because they were trying to beat MGM. Trying to beat Universal.
They opened up a year and a half earlier.
Yeah.
A year and a month earlier.
Because but they were only like halfway open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When did
Michael
Universal open up?
Michael Eisner was dead set on making sure that they were beating Universal's opening.
Okay.
He was. When 89?
Correct. It's whenever MGM opened up. 90 is from Universal.
Oh, I thought MGM's opened in 88.
Yep.
What was there at opening day at MGM?
Ooh, I'm actually working on that.
Okay, I'm going to say the Great Movie Ride, Backlot Tours, Indiana Jones. I'm going through my head.
No.
Am I getting them all wrong?
No, you're way past you're already past the amount. On opening day, the only two operating attractions was the Great Movie Ride and the Studio Backlot Tour.
There you go. Yes, rest in pieces, two of my faves.
Yep.
They were, man, I'll tell you what. I know that this Mickey's attraction is going to be great. This Mickey Runaway Railroad attraction or railway. But I sure do miss Great Movie Ride. It was good. It was a good one. I miss the Backlot Express. Or place to eat. The Backlot Tour. What are you reading about it?
I'm reading all down through it. Yeah, some things.
So Indiana Jones wasn't there? It was there shortly after because I was there in 1989.
It says two opening attractions. Now, is that actually attraction or is that
I
a
would
movie?
consider it attraction.
Well, so is One Man's Dream an attraction?
Yeah, it's listed.
I know, but does Wikipedia consider it an attraction?
So yeah. Anything else you gonna ask for?
No, that's the only one. I was going to see if you knew which one opened up first, Universal or
Well,
MGM.
I thought it was the other way around, but after you told me it wasn't, I remember the story about Michael Eisner. Because he was dead set. I've read articles about it. So there's an Imagineer that's on Facebook. His name is McNair Wilson. I hope I got that right. McNair Wilson, who works for Compassion International. Not an Imagineer anymore. But he was an Imagineer that worked exclusively on MGM Studios. He has some books. He does some talks and stuff like that. Gives speeches about Imagineering. He also gives speeches on brainstorming and just, how to be successful at what you do. Very interesting guy. I followed him for quite some time. But he is the brainchild behind Street and Sphere characters.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, find him on Facebook. He's really neat to follow.
Gotcha. Sarah says that Wikipedia is not an expert. It's on the internet. It's always true if it's on the internet, Sarah. Golly.
All right. So
All right,
with
we've been
that,
listening to how long as I have.
yeah, no, I've talked a lot. So,
Yes.
but with that said, thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed my little recap of Universal Studios and our trip to Walt Disney World for the Christmas season. I did make it over to Hollywood Studios at night. I was too tired. I can't even begin to tell you how our trip started off because I got 3 hours of sleep the first night. So, didn't quite get to do everything that we were doing. What's on next week's show?
We'll figure that out next Sunday.
We'll figure it out before then, but I'm actually not sure, Sarah, what's on next week's show.
We've kind of ran what we had pre-planned for everything, leading up to our adult trip, and then all the stuff heading into November. So, I don't know.
We need to do our favorite things.
I was going to say, we might need to get back to some reviews of areas again, and some of our favorites that we like.
Yep,
so.
Absolutely. So with that said, we hope that you guys have a fantastic week. We hope that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I can't thank you enough for supporting A DisNerds Life on Small Business Saturday. Please make sure that you contact us or someone with Middle of the Magic Travel for your Disney destination needs. We have already been doing quotes because we had several people contact us yesterday. Thank you so much for those who have. We are getting this finished up and emailed out. But there's still plenty of time to get your quotes for 2019 and honestly even for the end of this year if you decide you want to head out to Disney for Christmas. So don't hesitate. Give us a call. And something I feel like I need to say, and we don't say it often because I try honestly really hard not to overly push Middle of the Magic Travel, but we are a fee-free agency. Fee-free means that it costs you nothing. And really, that's probably, it's been in my mind to do a show about that.
We've talked about that in the past. We need to do that show.
I think doing that again would be a good idea. And just explaining to you how Middle of the Magic Travel works, and what it means to you. It costs more money. I mean, there's all kinds of questions people have about travel agents, and I think that's probably
that's a good one.
What
we'll do
we
that
need
next
to do.
Sunday.
So
there's your answer, Sarah. We're going to be talking about the ins and outs of travel and travel agencies.
Yep. So with that said, y'all have a fantastic week, and we will see you next Sunday, 9 p.m.
Walt Disney World time.
Bye-bye, guys.
See you guys.